Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about Andrew Cuomo, the king clown of New York. And Andrew, he's good old Andy. He's been just completely disastrous throughout this year in my last. So I just want to talk about how he misconstrued the amount of people who died due to COVID that were staying in nursing homes, and then I'm gonna go over the campaign to get him to resign over sexual misconduct allegations against multiple women, and then I might talk about if it's just a Me Too movement or if he's actually guilty of being a sexual abuser. I personally, if you want my opinion out the gate, I think that he mishandled the COVID pandemic. He tried to cover up how many people died. Then, while he was doing that, he also sexually harassed not all of them, a bunch of his female peers. And then, in order to cover up all of that, he legalized marijuana. Seems legit, right? What's the best way to get, pissed off people happy with you? Give them something they want. What does New York want? Legalized marijuana. Alright, if you haven't been here before, my name is Justin. I'm a dude who sits in his room and complains about politics, culture, and whatever the hell else I feel like. If you like what I'm doing, please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. That's the most important thing, is to comment down below. Those help the algorithm the most. But yeah, let's get right into this. I'm gonna read a couple news articles, and then we'll show how he's a clown. He's a total clown. But Cuomo aides spent months hiding nursing home death toll. Aides in New York Governor Andrew Cuomo repeatedly prevented state health officials from releasing the number of nursing home deaths in the pandemic. Already not looking so good. This is from April 28th, 2021. The effort by Governor Andrew M. Cuomo's office to obscure the pandemic toll in New York nursing homes was far greater than previously known, with aides repeatedly overruling state health officials over a span of at least 5 months, according to interviews and newly unearthed documents. Mr. Cuomo's most senior aides engaged in a sustained effort to prevent the state's own health officials, including Commissioner Howard Zucker, from releasing the true death toll to the public or sharing it to with state lawmakers. These interviews and documents showed. A scientific paper which incorporated the data was never published. An audit by the members of the top Cuomo aide was finished months after it became publicly known. 2 letters drafted by the health department and meant for state legislatures were never sent. The actions coincided with the period in which Mr. Cuomo was pitching and then writing a book on the pandemic. Oh, I completely forgot about that. The dude literally wrote a book about his successes with dealing with the COVID pandemic. I think it was like a year in, not even a year in. And it's like, you're one of the worst handlers of this crisis in the country as a governor. But I don't know. As the governor's approach to nursing homes was receiving intensifying scrutiny from critics and Republicans, including former President Donald J. Trump, whose administration made a public show of requesting nursing home death data from 4 states with Democratic governors, including New York. I'm looking at you, Michigan. The number of nursing home residents who died in the pandemic has been a particularly sensitive question for the Cuomo administration. Does it tell us how many people died? Yeah. Some critics blamed the approach for the large number of resident deaths in the spring. I told that the administration put at around 6,000. But by the time the policy was rescinded less than 2 months later, it had become clear that not all the deaths were being included in that tally. Those who died after being transferred to hospitals were not counted as nursing home deaths. That's so, what's the word? Semantic? You'll find a recurring theme with like top elite socialist Democrats or just insane Democrats and Republicans, but the rhetoric, like the semantic arguments they make with the mental and the mental gymnastics that they play with you to make you think they're doing good things is the problem. But lawmakers and others began asking for a complete count of all resident deaths, but the governor's aides said parsing the numbers was difficult because of the fear of double counting, among other possible errors. The full-on data on nursing home deaths was not released until this year, after a report by the state attorney general in late January found that the official tally might have been undercounted the true toll by as much as 50%. So it could be closer to 10,000, 9,000. That was something that they knew the previous spring. But this is a pretty long article. I'll leave it in the comments if you want to finish the read, but there's some other stuff I want to cover, and I don't have all that much time. But I'm going to show a timeline now of all of his sexual misconduct allegations since December 2020 and, his calls to resigning. And this is from ABC. So December 13th, 2020, Boylan, a former aide to Cuomo, was the first to accuse the governor of sexual harassment and kissing her against her will. I could never anticipate what to expect. Would I be grilled at my work or harassed about my looks? Or would it be both in the same conversation? It was this way for years. February 24th, she expanded on them and she accused him of acting inappropriately. Bennett came forward to share her account at times, so that's another one. She claims he asked her if she thought age made a difference in her romantic relationships, whether she was monogamous in her relationships, and if she ever had sex with older men. Like, what a creep. Ugh. That should make you, cringe so hard. So then Letitia James wanted to create a special counsel with subpoena power to investigate the claims against him, and this is the statement he issued. I never intended to offend anyone or cause any harm. Just because you didn't intend to make someone uncomfortable while you sexually assaulted them doesn't make it okay that you sexually assaulted them. But he added that some of his comments may have been insensitive or too personal, made others feel in ways I never intended, and have been misinterpreted as unwanted flirtation. You're gross, dude. To be clear, I never inappropriately touched anybody, and I never propositioned anybody, and I never intended to make anyone feel uncomfortable. But these are allegations that New Yorkers deserve answers to. Okay, bro, if you just gave them the answer, then there shouldn't be a need for that. But we all know what's going to happen. Then his boy there down in New York City, Bill de Blasio, the mayor, he actually even said that he should resign, which is kind of funny. He issued a statement denouncing Cuomo's alleged behavior, saying the state legislature must immediately revoke the governor's emergency powers that overrule local control. He called for 2 fully independent investigations into the personal misconduct allegations and deaths at nursing homes. This should be already more than enough for impeachment. Just the nursing home deaths should be enough to remove this man from office, but he's still there. I don't know how. The New York Times published an account of alleged misconduct from Marouche. Unlike Boylan and Bennett, she did not work for Cuomo. She met him at a wedding reception in New York City in September 2019 and alleged Cuomo placed his hands on her bare lower back and face and asked if he could kiss her. That's just so creepy, bro. Representative Kathleen Rice has become the first New York Democrat in Congress to join mounting calls for Cuomo to resign in the wake of the allegations. March 6th, Karen Hinton, a former press aide to Cuomo, claimed he behaved inappropriately with her when she worked as a consultant for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Her account was published by the Washington Post on March 6th. She claimed that Cuomo summoned her to his dimly lit hotel room in Los Angeles and told the Post he embraced her with a too long, too tight, too intimate hug after a work event in December 2000. Okay, that was 20 years ago, so I don't know if we should even consider that, but because there's no way to prove that even happened, so it's just like he said, she said. Like, she should have said something when that happened. I hate to be that guy, but you can't prove that happened. There's no way you could. March 9th, the Albany Times Union reported that a sixth woman, a current member of the governor's executive chamber staff, accused Cuomo of inappropriate conduct. The staffer, who has not been named, accused the governor of inappropriately touching her late last year during an encounter at the governor's mansion after she had been summoned there to do work. She had not filed a formal complaint with the governor's office. Her claims were recently reported to the governor's council by other executive chamber employees. So she didn't even report it. So that one, let's throw that one away. That one, I don't like that. March 11th, New York State Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie said Thursday that the Assembly Judiciary Committee would begin an impeachment investigation. Finally, after meeting with the Assembly Majority Conference today, I am authorizing the Assembly Judiciary Committee to begin an impeachment investigation led by Chair Charles D. Levine to examine allegations of misconduct against Governor Cuomo. All right, let's skip some. Jessica Bakeman, on March 12th, who worked as part of the Capitol Press Corps while working for Politico in New York 2014, accused Cuomo of behaving inappropriately with her first-person piece. See, they just keep coming, all right? March 18th, Bloomberg reporter Valerie Bauman tweeted on March 18th that she observed rampant sexism and sexual harassment during Cuomo's tenure at New York Attorney General. So he either pissed off every woman in New York that works for him, or he touched all of these girls. Like, he either sexually harassed these women or he gave them a reason to accuse them of them. And I'm not trying to say that they are just accusing. I believe that most of them. But they're like this kind of stuff. During one press conference in 2007, he made unwavering eye contact. After the event, he beelined for her. He took my hand, entered my personal space, and looked into my eyes as he announced, "Hello, I'm Andrew Cuomo." I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. That just seems weird. That could have just been like a coincidence, but it's all funny to me because, like, if you just look at the dude, you can tell he's not, and listen to what he says, he is not a very good dude. But March 19th, Alyssa McGrath was the first current Cuomo employee to come forward. In a March 19th piece, the New York Times, she claimed Cuomo would ogle her body, remark on her looks, call her beautiful in Italian, and make suggestive comments to both her and another executive aide. She did not accuse the governor of making sexual contact with her, but she told the Times she believed that his actions amounted to sexual harassment. Absolutely, if he had actually said that. And Sherry Ville, I'm gonna probably play a video of her in the next tab, so we'll talk about that in a second. April 7th, the female aide who alleged Cuomo groped her inside the governor's mansion in November discussed the alleged incident with the Albany Times. The woman, a current aide to the governor who has remained anonymous, claimed Cuomo groomed her for 2 years with a pattern of tight hugs and kisses on the cheek. Ladies, do not let strange men touch you for any reason whatsoever. Like, even if they're friendly, just tell them to back off. Okay, even if they're the governor, he knows better. He is the governor. He should know better, you know. But I just want to play a little of this video of this girl talk.
It's the scandal New York Governor Andrew Cuomo can't escape. Today, 55-year-old Sherry Ville says Cuomo kissed her twice without her consent as he visited her flood-damaged home.
Picture didn't happen. Uh-oh.
2017.
Picture didn't happen.
I was being manhandled.
A claim she backs up with pictures.
I felt he was acting in a highly flirtatious and inappropriate manner, especially in front of my family and neighbors.
All right. So he came out to support her after her home was destroyed or something. I'll just let her.
Ville is at least the 9th known woman to accuse the 63-year-old Democrat of inappropriate behavior or sexual harassment, and the 3rd to say the governor gave or attempted to give an unwanted kiss. Meanwhile, a lawyer for the Cuomo administration confirms the Attorney General's investigators are asking for documents and issuing subpoenas for the governor's staff, including his top aide. Today, 55-year-old Sherry Ville says Cuomo kissed her twice without her consent as he visited her flood-damaged home in.
Yeah. Hey, I know your house has just been destroyed from a flood or damaged from a flood, but hey, you want to get sexually harassed? Here we go. Like, why is this guy in office? I didn't do anything wrong, he says. Speaking to reporters at the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse, a Democrat abandoned his past approach of expressing contrition for some past behavior while declining to address whether specific allegations were true. Quote, "You were in those rooms. You know the truth. So can you tell the people of New York State, yes or no? Did you do the things you were accused of?" asked New York Times reporter Jesse McKinley. "To put it very simply, no," Cuomo said. "All of the groping, the sexual harassment, you deny all of that?" "That's right. Yes," Cuomo said. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but I just wanted to get some of his response so that I'm not giving him a defenseless response. The report can't say anything different because I didn't do anything wrong. So if it does come out and it's proven, I'm sorry, Andrew Cuomo. But until then, you're a clown. So he has even slammed his accusers of going public because it's not fair. Dude, it's not fair that you sexually harassed them either, you know? Oh my gosh. Democratic Andrew Cuomo criticized his accusers who have gone public amid ongoing investigations into allegations of sexual misconduct, arguing they had impacted the fairness in the process by speaking out. Cuomo has denied any wrongdoing in response to allegations from 9 women. 9 women! Including current and former aides, like his own employees in the governor's office, who say he sexually harassed them. It is not hard to not sexually harass people, and you don't do it on accident. That is not a thing. So it's for 9 of them to come out, it's just ridiculous. And now that both the left and the right are pissed at Andrew Cuomo, calling for him to resign left and right, what does he do? Boom! Cuomo signs bill legalizing adult use recreational marijuana in New York. Hey, if you keep everyone baked, they won't get pissed if you molest them, right? Am I right? No, that's how he thinks so. The dude's a freaking psychopath. But this is a historic day in New York, one that rights the wrongs of the past by putting an end to harsh prison sentences, embraces an industry that will grow the Empire State's economy, and prioritizes marginalized communities so that those who have suffered the most will be the first to reap the benefits, Cuomo said in a statement issued after he quietly signed the bill. New Yorkers aged 21 and older can now legally possess and consume cannabis. Dispensaries are not expected to open in New York until at least 2022 under the new regulatory and licensing structure. So, in order to get the heat off of him for all of these terrible things that he's done to these girls, it's just like, oh look over here, what's over here? Free weed, legalized weed. And you miss what's over here out of frame, which is him groping his aides. So, I don't know. What do you think, viewers? Do you think Andrew Cuomo should resign? Do you think Andrew Cuomo should still hold office as governor? Or do you think he should be impeached. It is of my opinion that he should be punished for all of the nursing home deaths that he hid. That is the biggest thing I care about. Like, whether I can't prove whether these girls were sexually assaulted or misconduct was present, but I can prove that he lied about the nursing home deaths. So that should be that on its face should be plenty enough to at least like have a recall or impeach him, you know. But I don't know. If you like what I'm talking about, if you agree with me, just comment down below, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Peace out.